Online donations, fundraising dinners, rock star concerts. The presidential candidates are pulling out all the stops to rake in campaign cash. So where is all the money actually coming from, and how is it being spent? Jordan Lieberman, publisher of Campaigns and Elections magazine, is with us from Washington. Good to see you, Jordan.
Good to be with you, Frederica.
All right, well, based on your research, 2008, we're looking at a record-breaking $7 billion campaign cycle. That compared to 2004, $3.9 billion. And to hear that a candidate like a Hillary Clinton is out of money, having to borrow from herself in order to keep the campaign afloat, these are astounding figures. So it really does beg the question, why does it take so much money to run for the presidency?
Well, these costs go all over the place. First of all, buying TV time, as you know, can be very expensive, and about half of all the campaign funds in America go towards buying TV time, mostly broadcast networks, but also cable. Beyond that, direct mail accounts for another quarter of spending. Postage, frankly, is about half of all direct mail spending.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so advertisements, getting the word out, and then you've got staff members. And Senator Clinton, Senator Obama both have a lot of big-name staffers, so perhaps they have to pay them big money, too?
Well, some of the highest profile staffers can make upwards of a couple $100,000 in one cycle, and that's not counting the commissions they'll make on media buys. However, the great majority
of campaigns... What do we mean when we say cycle? We're not talking annually. This cycle is measured on... In what way?
Right. It's a 2-year cycle, although obviously much of the money comes right as the spending begins, right before the actual election itself. So we count usually in campaign terms. We talk in campaign cycles, but the great majority of campaign staffers make very little money, even no money in many cases. We're talking sometimes $1,000, $1,500 per month. Even presidential staffers who run a statewide race can make somewhere in the neighborhood of $90,000 per year.
Wow. Okay, so that's how some of the money is spent. Now, how is some of the money, I guess, received? We know that there can be events. Those are the big fundraising, I guess, ways in which to get money. But now we've got the influence of online. Online is representing or constitutes about what percentage of the money that's being received for these campaigns?
Well, it depends on the campaign. Obviously, Barack Obama is raising more money online than anyone else really ever has in presidential history. Howard Dean had done a lion's share before that. John McCain, actually, in the 2000 primary in New Hampshire, raised, at that point, record sums. But we're talking really, each campaign is different. Sometimes it could be upwards of half of all campaign funds raised online. What's fascinating, though, is that the best part about campaign fundraising isn't that online fundraising is that the money is available basically immediately. In the olden days, we had to deposit a check, wait for the check to clear, and then write another check, and this helps campaigns to the very last minute.
Okay, so the Democrats are spending some stupid money. I mean, just to be frank with you here. I mean, it's an enormous amount of money. And you've got the Republican, John McCain, who has said, I don't really have a whole lot of money, yet his machine is still going. So, I guess the argument is, do you really need all this money? Do you really have to spend this much money in order to be in the race?
You do need a certain minimum amount to be credible. Barack Obama, at the end of the day, will probably spend $500 million just through his campaign fund, not counting the other committees. However, John McCain will spend, hundreds of millions, perhaps $400 million when it's all over. We just don't know at this point. You need a certain minimum amount.
Oh, wow. So, Jordan, does this astound you, too? I mean, you did a lot of the research. Did it kind of set you back a few times to say, wow, it's extraordinary. This is what it takes now to run for office?
I've been doing this for a long time, and, have been on the other side of managing races and consulting before I came to Campaigns, Elections, Politics magazine. And no, it's not really astounding, especially when you compare it to junk food or anything else. It's not that much money.
Oh, so it's not sad, too?
No, it's good for democracy when all these donations are coming from small donors. If you look at Barack Obama, the average donation is, somewhere around $100. That means that there's a lot of people giving a little bit, which is really good for our democracy that they're all participating.
Yeah, those $5 donations and how it accumulates, that's been pretty extraordinary.
Sure has.
Jordan Lieberman, publisher of Campaigns and Elections magazine, thanks so much.
Thank you.
If you say it often enough, maybe it will actually happen.